right, welcome. I am so happy you are here. Thank you for viewing and joining me here. If you're curious about the program, I just want to give you a quick walkthrough of what it would look like if you were to be enrolled. Now, my dashboard is a admin dashboard, but for all intents and purposes, this is what it looks like, and it's all separated here on the left. So this is a video content, so you can rewatch it again and again and again. You know, I really want to make sure that this is easy for everyone to view and actually implement. So I've kept the videos pretty short. They're not super long videos. You can see here on the left, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 11 minutes. It's enough for you to get the grasp of the concept. And then at the very end of each video, there's some homework. There's always some homework for you to go ahead and implement. The most important thing you can get out of this is that you will be doing actual implementation of these new skills. So these are things your dog will naturally actually respond to, not from what humans think that they should respond to via training, but what your dog, your canine does naturally, instinctually, and how you can work with this instinctual behavior to have a better relationship, be an alpha, show up as an alpha, and how that transfers to your dog, how that actually changes the dynamic, the group dynamic, your living dynamic, your lifestyle dynamic, and how your dog is going to be actually more relaxed because of it. The big thing about dog training is that we want to train your dog not just for the time that they're in right now, but for the long haul. So if you have a 2-year-old dog or a 6-month-old dog or a 2-month-old dog, this is gonna stay with you. This is gonna stay with you as they transition through their development from puppy years, let's say rescue situations, into their sort of what I call the tween teen years, where dogs typically get a little bit more stubborn, a little more ornery to follow rules, and into their geriatric years, their mature years and geriatric years, where things are going to adjust and change. And you know, these skills are really going to help your dog understand their role in the pack. And that's crucial, because a lot of training programs, if they focus on instilling your will as a human, it starts to backfire as your dog ages. And so we don't want that. We want them to feel really good as a pack member, or if your pack changes, if you have kids that are entering the house, you know, like you either have a baby or you adopt a child, or you have kids exiting the house, you have kids that are maturing and going out on their own, leaving for college, moving out of the house. We want the pack to be able to still be very strong within the home dynamic, so your dog doesn't feel that strain and stress and then try to overcompensate. So all that being said, this is what it looks like. So everything is designed as a presentation. And then there are some videos down here that have a couple videos, because I found that they just needed a little bit more explaining, a little more hands-on kind of work for people to kind of see visually how it works. Now, what I really want to hone in is this is designed, I do talk over. So I'm just gonna, let's see, I'll kind of like play from right here so you can kind of get a gist of it. Submissive peeing, unexplained vomiting, unless your dog has an underlying medical condition. So if you have brought your dog to the vet and they're like, so this is kind of what you're going to be seeing. Me up here in the corner, I'm a square or a rectangle, and then literally presentation style kind of data. And then at the end, you're going to have homework to go and do. And that homework is going to be the action steps, the actual physical training you're going to do with your dog. Then you can mark it as complete. You can go back to it. It'll go on to the next video, and you'll go from there. So realistically, all of these videos are going to be designed to be helpful like that for you. Now, then you're going to get into these PDFs, and these PDFs are really designed for you to print. You can also download these to your tablet, so you don't have to print things. If you don't have a printer, that's okay. And then there's some basic training. This is what I've really found. You do get the meeting bundles and things like this, the checklists, the socialization checklists and whatnot. And then you get some more video of really how to train your dog to be with kids, how to train your dog to work with your kid, and how to train your kids to work with your dogs. And that's really important, because again, we want a really healthy pack here. There's also some videos on how to go ahead and design your actual pet binder, things like this, legal documents that you need, dog directive, pet guardianship. This is all crucial in safeguarding your pet if something happens to you. And then of course, some fun checklists and things like that for you to actually do for some of the fun stuff like birthday parties or recipe templates and things like that. If you want to go ahead and I know I've always loved making things for my dogs. And then of course, there's our actual I Speak Dog training club. The training club is specifically for those who have purchased the product, purchased the actual bundle, and then what happens is you get to go ahead and request to join that training group. That is a private Facebook group. I go ahead and confirm that you've actually purchased the product, and then I give you access to the actual group. And then what happens in there is we go over literally all of the things that you would be doing with your dog. Let's say something isn't working for you. That is where we do live training, and I really go kind of one-on-one with individuals. And you know, it's all video recorded, so it's all in there, so you can watch archive stuff as well. But what happens is if there's something, let's say you misunderstood or it's just not working with your dog, dogs are kind of like people. So you know, it's the dynamic between the two. Typically, after about 6 months, you kind of know what to expect from your dog, and your dog kind of knows what to expect from you. And there's sort of this natural negotiation that goes on with humans and the actual canines. And what I have found is that realistically, you can go ahead and shape shift that dynamic. But if for some reason you're stuck in that pattern, that's where that group really comes in handy, because you can say, you know, gosh, I'm doing this, and more than likely there's a couple little nuances that you can tweak, and all of a sudden it makes sense for you and for your dog. So thank you so much for watching this with me. If you have more questions, feel free to email us at thelittledogretreat.com, or excuse me, thelittledogretreat@mail.com.